The government I lead was elected on a platform to build a strong Alberta in a united Canada, to create jobs, the economy, and get pipelines built, and to respect the rule of law. The so-called Sovereignty Act would effectively take us to the brink of separation from the Canadian Federation, would shred the rule of law, and would do devastating damage to jobs, the economy, and the prospect of pipelines. This is a cockamamie idea that was first floated by a far-right special interest group a year ago. I was asked to comment on it last fall through the winter in public forums, on telephone town halls, local town halls that I attended across the province over the past year, and I'm simply restating the position I articulated then. I'm not engaging in the leadership election. I'm not endorsing or opposing a particular candidate. I am maintaining the consistent position of the democratically elected government, which is to defend a strong Alberta in a united Canada, the rule of law, and to defend Alberta's economy. I've been active as a leader in the Conservative movement for 30 years in this country, in elected office for 25 of those years. And I have always been consistent in my belief that the rule of law is a fundamental Conservative principle. The so-called Alberta Sovereignty Act is a full frontal attack on the rule of law. And while sharing the frustration of most Albertans about how we're treated by Ottawa, by the Trudeau government, I have always been unapologetically a Canadian patriot. I'm not about to become spineless on my patriotism or my support for the rule of law because somebody in a leadership campaign disagrees. And let me say this. This is a law, and I'm going to quote from the proposal that was made a year ago, on which I have been commenting for a year. The Alberta Sovereignty Act would provide Alberta's legislature with the authority to refuse enforcement of any specific federal court ruling that Alberta's elected body deemed to be federal intrusion. So this is an idea to shred the rule of law, the authority of the courts. I am here on this shop floor taking another step forward on our economic recovery strategy as we have attracted $150 billion of investment to Alberta in the past 2 years, created over 200,000 jobs, brought unemployment to its lowest level in over 7 years, leading the country in economic and job growth, in population growth, all of which would be jeopardized if Alberta decides to become a banana republic that refuses to respect the authority of the courts, of the Constitution, and suddenly decides to move in the direction of separation from the Canadian Federation. So no, I'm not going to be silent about proposals like that. Let me remind you that when we created the United Conservative Party in the summer of 2017, that 95% of the members of both of our legacy parties endorsed the merger agreement, which included the following words, which for me were a deal breaker. I didn't put down many insistent demands in the negotiations on the merger agreement, but one that I did put down was the following: that the United Conservative Party is committed to a strong Alberta in a united Canada. A strong Alberta in a united Canada, quote unquote. 95% of our grassroots members endorsed that language. And I went to the people of Alberta in the spring of 2019 with that commitment to lead a government that would build a stronger Alberta in a united Canada. And so I make no apologies for speaking out against a cockamamie idea that is, according to its own authors, a step towards separation. If you think we've had economic challenges in the past, wait till you see a landlocked Alberta that has no use of the federal power to get interprovincial infrastructure like pipelines built. Wait till BC gets the idea that they can play the same game to block our pipelines. So that is what I am commenting on. I have a democratic mandate and responsibility to do that. That's the burden of leadership.